guys, my name is Crystal and welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. This is where I like to tell the truth and also put other people's stories across that I find in the newspapers, on the radio, etc. Because, you know, there are serious issues out there that need addressing. And while we all brush these things under the carpet, it's all getting worse. And I'm very flattered to hear that King Charles has got a horse, but horses are dangerous. Alexa, how many people die from horse accidents?
From reference.com. On average, around 100 people per year die in horse riding accidents.
A horse is an animal, right? Humans ride horses for their amusement and pleasure, and horses can be dangerous. They can actually harm children. So it's no big thing having a horse. Owning a horse requires responsibility. Royals have stables. Royals have stable hands to look after their horses. The common or garden person doesn't own a horse. It's far too expensive and requires a lot of thinking out. You have to be rich to own a horse, own a lot of money to keep the upkeep and care, grooming it. So just remember that when you own a horse, you have to look after it as you do with everything you own. Going to the Daily Mail newspaper yesterday, which proves that men suffer domestic violence as well as women. And the more that domestic violence comes out, which shows other people that they can come forward and speak out about their stories, is good. So, even now, he can't explain why he didn't leave. The husband beaten black and blue by his high-powered wife for 20 years. Richard tells his harrowing story in the Daily Mail. Well, he did yesterday, and you can also scan the mail to read it if you've got yesterday's mail. So this guy is called Richard. You've got pictures of his bruises that his wife inflicted on him. Blonde lady. Exclusive interview by Rebecca Hardy. When Cherie Spencer, the mother of 3 little girls and a senior manager at the Ministry of Justice, was facing sentence for the worst case of controlling and coercive behaviour the judge in question had ever seen, her abused husband Richard could only focus on a spot on a piece of furniture and stare at it to get through it. I felt absolutely nothing the few times I glanced across at Cherie, says Richard. I didn't feel anger, I didn't feel scared, I didn't have any emotion, he says in this harrowing interview, but I was hyper-conscious of how my family was reacting when the judge described the horrific things she'd done. Few could have imagined to look at Cherie, a senior project manager for HM Prison and Probation Service, who boasted to friends of meetings with former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, that this bewitchingly pretty blonde was capable of such despicable abuse. Her campaign of violence and intimidation is almost too shocking to catalogue. She spat in his face, hit him with whatever she had to hand, a bottle, a mobile phone, a TV remote control. On one occasion she shit on the floor, then forced him to clear it up. So she excreted on the floor, pooed on the floor and got him to clean it up. On another, she beat him with a wine bottle so hard it permanently disfigured his ear. Richard, 46, has shared with me some of the videos of abuse which were captured on a security camera in the children's playroom. She threatens him with a knife, drags him to the floor, kicks him, punches him, get the fucking chicken on, get to the fucking shop. She screams, "You will learn." He cowers and pleads with her to stop. When officers from Humberside Police interviewed Richard at the family's 7-bedroom home in a leafy village near York, following Cherie's arrest in June 2021, the investigating officer was so disturbed by what she heard, she had to leave the room. She was crying, Richard recalls. He weeps himself now. When the things that have happened to me upset someone else, I feel guilty. He explains, I just feel that no normal person would have let that happen. At home, he was made to feel worthless. As difficult as he finds talking about it now, he is determined to speak out to help as many other people in a similar situation as he can, he says. By the time she was punching me so I was having to wear makeup to hide the bruises. The abuse had become the normality. I lost my independence and willpower and just accepted that was how my life was going to be. In the end, she controlled everything from which room I could sleep in to which toilet I could use. I was no longer me. So he'd found this Cherie very attractive. She was fun and effervescent, really confident, and everyone liked her. She'd do really kind things, buy thoughtful gifts, and he remembers an early romantic break in Venice before the violence began. She would explain her behaviour by saying, if you hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have done this. So, that's terrible. She'd lie on the sofa drinking bottles of wine. I felt like an elephant had got off my neck, said Richard. I could breathe. I rang my dad. He came straight over with my youngest sister and stepmum. They were crying and hugging me. They'd only seen my oldest 2 daughters a couple of times and never met my youngest. So it was partly a reunion and partly traumatic. Yeah, so this woman's been jailed, hasn't she? Cherie Spencer has been jailed for 4 years. 4 years for domestic violence on her husband. On the page 15 of Saturday's Mail, donkey double of Inisherin. Secret stand-in for hit movies miniature star, and this is by Jennifer Ruby. They're usually the preserve of Hollywood A-listers doing dangerous stunts, but in the Banshees of Inisherin, finding one body double in particular required a lot of donkey work. Jenny the Donkey plays a pivotal role alongside Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson in Martin McDonagh's 9 times Oscar-nominated tragic comedy, but Jenny's handler, Rita Maloney, was asked to find an identical match for filming on the isolated island of Inishmore in 2021. Spot the difference. Jenny, her double, Nosy Rosie, left, and actress Kerry Condon. Jenny the Donkey. King Charles has got himself a horse now. My horse, a kingdom for my horse. Alexa, where does this saying come from? My horse, my
From
horse.
worldbank.org. Good things come to those who wait is a popular saying often attributed to Abraham Lincoln.
Alexa, my horse, my kingdom for a horse. Where does that come from?
Here's what I found.
Alexa, my horse, my kingdom for a horse. Where does that come from?
Here's what I found.
Alexa, exit. Alexa, give me a saying from Richard III.
Sorry, I don't know
Oh,
that.
she's playing up. She said it. Well, it comes from Shakespeare, Richard III. My horse, my kingdom for a horse. And Jenny the donkey was in the newspaper yesterday. Jenny the donkey. And do you know what a donkey is well known for? Well, donkeys are very useful actually, because it was a donkey that carried Mary to the stable where she gave birth to baby Jesus. So donkeys have their uses, don't they? Domestic violence is horrible. And before my father passed away, I was talking with this counsellor called Ruth. They'd given me a 19-year-old student to fucking deal with really serious domestic violence issues and sexual abuse issues. And my young female counsellor said, I can't do this. What you're saying is making me feel sick. Sick! And I said to her, if it's making you feel sick, what do you think it has been doing to me for all these years? You feel sick. I'm lucky to be alive. See you later.